The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions. Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up all the brain cells we lost along the way. I'm Jacob Jacob, and today we're looking at Power Rangers Ninja Steel, released in 2017.
Because they skipped one.
Anyway, this is in comparison. Thank you for the Dead Meat reference. I appreciate it. Go watch Dead Meat. It's pretty fun. This is in comparison. We are comparing Shuriken Sentai Ninninger to Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Man.
I need to get something off my chest.
There is nothing to compare.
I need to get something off my chest.
Do it.
I did not hate this Power Rangers as much as I thought I would.
Oh my god. Who are you? Get the fuck out.
Again.
I almost forgot you said this when we were reviewing Ninja.
Again. I did not hate it as much as I thought I would. AKA one of the fucking Kamen keychains fell over. I don't know when that happened.
Probably when he was hitting the table.
Probably. It's not as bad as Megaforce, Super Megaforce.
Well,
it's not as bad as...
Each their own.
I didn't... No, don't get me... I'm not saying it's a good show. It's not.
You just didn't hate it as much as you thought.
I just didn't think it was absolute radioactive dog shit.
This is the worst season of Power Rangers I've ever seen. This is the worst. Just the worst.
Was it the worst?
We have tunneled through the bottom of the barrel and ended up on the other side of the earth. That is where we are.
Is it the worst because of, like,
because of
Megaforce was just lazy?
No. It's everything. Oh. Everything. I mean everything. From the acting, to the writing, to the casting, to the story, to the action. Everything about this is the worst. It is the worst it has ever been. To the point where I don't ever want to watch Power Rangers again. I don't care how good Beast Morphers is.
It has been good.
Like, my love for the franchise, I feel like it's dead because this show exists.
I'm splitting it up because Hasbro has control now, and it's been better. But I pretty much actually agree with you. At least in terms of how the show is presented.
In terms of so many things.
I still think Super Megaforce is the worst Power Rangers has ever been.
I think this is
I think that's just the laziest.
This is so much worse.
See, to me, lazy is worst. Because, especially when I know of behind the scenes of what happened with Super Megaforce, there was not enough fan service in the world to save that show. I don't care who the fuck showed up.
I want you to start. Because we're not even going to talk about the characters.
No,
we're just
going
to talk about the thing as a whole. All of the characters are bad.
They're all bad. The acting is all bad. Everyone's in high school, but they all look like they're 30.
So it's the original Power Rangers all over again.
It's so much more egregious here because when the friggin' like bully jock comes up, he's like, "Yo, what's up? I'm king of the school." I'm like, "No shit.
Oh my god,
you've been held back 10 times."
Oh my god,
you're 28. No wonder you're king of the school.
Oh my god, Victor and Monty. Why do you exist?
Because they're trying to.
They exist because it's a Power Rangers show, and we have to have these characters.
Speaking of which, Betty and her brother haven't shown up that much in Beast Morphers recent, but they're not as bad as these two.
Oh my goodness! So we open up
with trash.
We open up with the villain showing up at our main character's house. And once again, like, this show finally made me figure out why I personally hate all the talking and fight scenes. And why I personally hate the way all the villains had the same voice.
Oh my god!
They
actually all sound like that.
This show really brought to light so many problems I have with Power Rangers as a whole. And I'll tell you, one of the big things it comes down to, I said this in one of my streams, you can disagree with me if you want, I'm just talking about how I feel. It really comes down to the audio. Okay, I want to do an experiment.
Okay.
Oh god.
Okay. I'm going to say something like I'm a character in Ninja Steel. I want you to, Matt, just ask me a question, any question at all.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm standing over here! Matt! It's great! You know why it's great? Because I'm standing over here! It's great, man! I hope that helps you to understand, every
I feel assaulted.
line of dialogue is mixed at the volume of yelling. Every line of dialogue is either screamed or it's up there, like everything is just high energy and yelling all the time.
It's always just a voiceover because of the fact that they've been doing this pretty much exactly since Ninja Storm, where they just record another room instead of on set. And that really hurts it.
It really hurts it. And once again, every villain has the same voice. It's just that, like, every villain here sounds like they're trying to do a Goldar impression. Except, once again, it's mixed at, like, this height of, like, just like they're yelling every single line. And I finally figured out why the talking in suits bothers me so much. Again, it's the audio. They talking in fight scenes is not something that is new to Sentai. They talk a lot in fight scenes.
I do the Power Rangers.
Or they'll like, we'll get some vocal foley, like, yeah, hiya, that kind of stuff. This is like if you took Jason David Frank's combat foley and turned it into words. And then projected it at the loudest volume possible.
That is extreme, yeah. And I feel like there's a weird way that you can encapsulate this. When they're shooting anything.
Yeah.
When they're slashing anything. When they're attacking anything. It's always named. Arrow shot! Or when they're like throwing the wires up into the thing. It's just like, Super Ninja, blah, 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 blah.
Which I'm pretty sure is the name of an attack.
Exactly. It's just like, it's always, not everything needs a name. Just let things happen.
Saying the name of an attack, that's pretty much par for the course in Japanese media. But
no, it's even the thing is just like,
They didn't name. Yeah.
I mean, like Kamehameha. We're used to hearing things like that.
Yeah, but we don't see. But what he's saying is that to kind of go off of that, they don't name every ki blast in Dragon Ball. It's not blast, blast, blast. It's
kidney punch, kidney punch, kidney punch,
and pause, kidney punch. But it's always ninja blast, ninja slice, ninja shut the fuck up. Again, let me reiterate. I did not like this show. It's just I'm numb to Power Rangers at this point.
The story is bad.
I want to get back to what I was saying because there's another thing. There's another thing I got to bring up.
I'm not disagreeing with anything.
I know Matt, you and Marcus, I believe you as well, prefer sub to dub when it comes to anime.
Yeah,
depends on the dub, but yeah.
Yeah,
unless it's Cowboy Bebop.
Or
Space Dandy.
Also, Black Clover dub is much better than the sub. But
let's yell it.
One of the reasons that I think a lot of people prefer subs to dubs, and I'm just speaking from my own experience. If you feel differently, that's fine. Let me know in the comments. There is a musicality and a cadence to the Japanese language that just doesn't translate to English. It doesn't translate to American English when the Japanese just normal sentences, forget about combat, just there's a rhythm to normal conversations. There is a cadence and a musicality to the language of Japan that America doesn't have. And when you try to take that and just literally translate it into English,
samurai,
and you're trying to, because I don't know if either of you have noticed this, but in Japanese dubs and in Sentai, it's not so much that they're yelling, it's that the way the language flows, there is an energy to it. And the way they try to match that in English is they yell. Is just yelling and being loud.
And I noticed this a lot more, like, especially as I've been watching Flashman, and that's an older one.
Yeah.
But it's like, they'll sometimes just be having conversations while fighting. Like, they might be yelling it, but it's at a certain level where it just doesn't go to that, oh my god, why are you yelling in my ear type of thing. It's like, the conversations flow. It's like they're talking to the people. This happens in pretty much every single Sentai or every single Kamen Rider or something like that. There's a certain way that things go. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed a lot more, especially while learning the language.
Yeah.
It's just, it goes up and down. But when it ends up coming to, especially a lot of modern Power Rangers, like, compare this to something like Wild Force.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, they just let things happen. Attacks just happen. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be announced. Because it like we said with a lot of the more Neo Savant, this is the last one, they're talking down to you. And they didn't do this as much in Dino Charge.
No.
They did so much more here, and it really doesn't work.
No, Matt?
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Now, I think what hurts it more is that this is live action and not animation. Because when you're dubbing animation, they will change the script. Because it's not a straight...
Yeah.
They change the script to however the actor has to match the lip movement of the animation. Because when you're animating... When you do an anime... And I don't know how many people know this. When you are voicing an anime, the lines are recorded first.
Yeah.
So the animation is made later once the lines are recorded, whereas dub, it's backwards. So they have to match what they're saying to convey the same message while matching the lip movement in the animation.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about dubbing versus how when animes are made. A lot of times the voices are recorded before it's fully animated.
Because I was about to say, in this case, they're wearing masks.
And also, right now, but I was just, and also that's one of the reasons why currently the production of My Hero Academia Season 5 has been on hiatus.
The production of pretty much everything.
Well, no, they've actually been working on it, but one of the main actors has to get emergency throat surgery, and his character is known for screaming. So, production's on halt. They can't animate anything, nothing. But in live action, I feel like it's not the same problem, but it has its own problems. Because they don't have the exact same script that they have to work with in this adaptation. They just have to make sure that what's happening on screen matches with the suits is matching what's happening out of the suits.
But that doesn't do anything for the tone.
But I think the main issue in terms of the naming everything and the talking during the fight scenes is less to do with the fact that it's Japanese language versus the English language. It's the culture of Japan versus the Americas. The target audience of a Sentai may be around the same age as a target audience of a Power Ranger season, but that doesn't mean it's the same thing. The fact that we have blood in Sentai and sparks in Power Rangers is what's been the problem the entire time. We're talking down to them because it's children, and that there is an over-censoring of violence.
But we talked about this.
I know we talked about this.
And they've done it in
but
other shows.
They're talking...
For the same age range.
But what I'm saying is that all the talking is, yes, bad audio, but the reason that they're talking is so that you're not paying as much attention to the quote-unquote violence. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is true. Okay. I think that they're trying to not... If they just had a 3-minute fight scene where it's just Huz and Jason David Franken, I feel like there'd be more parents complaining about the violence on their television.
I don't know about that because
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, but I was just watching Beast Morphers episode 8 of this season.
Different production company.
They still have most of the same people.
Really?
That came over because this is much more of a transition season. That's why when we get Down Fury, that's the name. It's probably going to be...
Oh, right. That's the name.
Yeah.
Next one.
Very good. But it's like...
Don't even get me fucking started.
Weirdly enough, they don't really talk as much in Beast Morphers, and I've been enjoying that.
And they didn't talk as much in Dino Charge.
It's like, for some reason, this season...
I think they can get away with it every now and then, because once you have that Power Rangers name... Excuse me, sorry. It's got that stereotype with it, but...
Yeah, the modern stereotype of it is this is something like in the era of Time Force where they actually saw blood when Wes got his visor blown off. Yeah, this is a big different thing.
And they closed down a fucking what? The street.
A good portion of Los Angeles.
And now they're in New Zealand, where it's so much cheaper.
It is so much cheaper to film. That's why we have
and you get all the land.
This is why we have like this high school in the suburbs, and then we cut to two of the Rangers fixing a truck out in the rolling hills of New Zealand, and it's like, oh, where's Hobbiton? I think it's over that hill over there.
I still love that's one of the reasons why I like Dino Charge so much, is I was kind of aware of it to the point where, you know what, let's just fuck it. Let's take the Power Rangers to New Zealand so we can stop trying to hide it.
AKA around the corner. Where there is more forest.
Here's one of the big problems I had.
But I still think that is a role in why they're talking so much.
Your point about culture brings up one of the biggest problems I have with that show, and that is the story.
Story's trash.
Well, yeah.
It's not just that it's bad, it's what they took and what they turned it into. Here's my point. It's like Power Rangers Samurai all over again. We have a pantheon of villains, and our heroes are based on things that are rooted in Japanese culture
and Japanese history.
You are taking that and you are turning it into toys.
Basically,
you casted how many Asian actors?
It gets back to Samurai. It's like the lead ranger. What? Why? It's just like the fact that it's like, the ninjas are all like pasty white dudes. Their father's like a pasty white dude, but he's a master ninja.
But his son is not pasty white.
Yeah, and we never saw their mother.
And we never see their mom, so maybe they're adopted, but just that...
But the whole thing is bloodline.
There's just that weird cultural disconnect where you've taken something that is that someone who is familiar with it can clearly tell, oh yeah, that's very clearly a Japanese design, but there's absolutely nothing Japanese about what's going on. And for that's one of the reasons I think Samurai did it better.
Because they at least acknowledged that
it's like, we are Samurai. There is no reason for them to be ninjas. It makes no sense why they are ninjas.
Yeah,
the main bad guy shows up in the first episode at their house, at their farm in the middle of nowhere, and is like, aha, I have the ninja star. If I get it, I'll rule the universe. Why? What does this have to do with ninjas?
Why is it as powerful as it is?
Why is it as powerful as it is?
Why can it grant wishes, but we only wished on it once?
Who are you, Gingy?
Yeah.
That's the catch from this, of course.
But it's like, why? Because the Blue Ranger had magic power, we had to write that in the show somehow.
Yeah, R.I.P. his acting career.
Oh, you mean Shunpei? Shunpei 2.0?
What was his name? Preston?
The show or the actor?
Because I know it's his brother. But Preston?
I think
Preston
so.
TN?
Yeah. Peter Sudarso. Whom I love. But I'm sitting here looking at this like, oh, sweet.
His character reminded me of Shunpei, I should say.
I just love there's a great line in the history of Power Rangers for this season. In like the first episode where he's showing off his magic skills and does the quick change in the dragon costume and no one's impressed. And he's insulted that no one's impressed. It's like, he just did a quick change. That would go great in Vegas. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Also, why are hoverboards just a common thing, but she's the only one that has one?
I do want to talk about...
What time does this take place in?
I'm looking at this. I do want to talk about a couple things about these characters.
So do I.
Brody is the worst, by the way. Preston, no better. Calvin, they really don't do much with him and his girlfriend until the second season.
Nope.
And they replaced him to begin with.
They replaced him before the show started.
Brody, in the first episode, gets captured when he's a kid, taken aboard an alien spacecraft, and is brought up there and doesn't come back to Earth until he's a teenager. And the first time we see him as a teenager on the ship, he's just like, everything's fine, I'm so chipper, nothing wrong here.
Kid show.
I'm sorry. No. Don't. That kind of stuff really pisses me off. Oh, kid show. Kids deserve better.
No,
kids deserve better.
I'm not disagreeing with you. They absolutely do.
That's how we got Steven Universe in Adventure Time.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at people who say things like, oh, it's a kid show. It's fun. No. Your kids, every kid, they deserve better. They deserve more. They deserve more than this. They deserve better than this.
They deserve not to be talked about.
This is why one of my least favorite corporations on the entire planet is the FCC. Because censoring is the most bullshit thing I've ever goddamn heard of. Be a parent. Which is why I appreciate me and Marcus are a big fan of Achievement Hunter. Which is why I appreciate Michael and Lindsay so much. They don't fucking censor themselves when their kid is 2 rooms over. Because that's not... Michael,
it's not reality.
It's not reality. Michael is the guy who made himself famous for a show called Rage Quit. He screams profanity at the top of his goddamn lungs.
Well, he used to.
Well, he still does.
That blood pressure.
He still does, but for different reasons. Now it's aimed at a person when he's playing Mario Kart.
I want to talk about And this is just because of the fact that I love Kasumi so much.
To go off of that real quick, and I hate to, but also, if you're gonna make a Power Ranger couple, don't be a pussy about it! What's the most they do? Hold hands?
They kiss.
No.
I think they hug once.
Maybe.
But
they definitely do not kiss. This is
I think they're in the
Nickelodeon.
same general area as each other.
This is Nickelodeon. You are delusional. Don't, if you're... either don't be a pussy or don't do it.
Nickelodeon air Rocco's Modern Life?
In the 90s.
were a very different time.
My point still stands.
They aired Ren and Stimpy.
I know.
I want to talk about Sarah.
I want to talk about...
You
go first.
I want to get to the brothers at some point.
Fuck
but
that!
I want to talk about Sarah and how her character is, I'm smart. I don't have anything to really build off of.
I made a hoverboard.
I am smart. SMRT.
Also, my mom is smart. Which is weird because we do actually get to see a lot of parents in this show.
The only school I have seen that's more unrealistic than this one is the school from Fillmore.
That was a great show.
Did you ever watch that show?
It was a very good show.
Fillmore was a show like on Disney about safety patrol officers in a middle school.
But it was more like a police.
It was like a cop show. The safety patrol were cops. And they were...
You've talked about this before.
Oh, no, it's a fantastic show.
You both have brought this up to me.
It's a fantastic show. But this school was the size of a country.
It was live action, right?
No,
it was
a cartoon. This show was this school was the size of a country. They had a maze. They had a flower club. They had like 7 theaters.
Okay, I'm looking at the main character. Yeah, he looks familiar, but I never watched this show.
It was a good show.
It was a great show. But my point is that this is a school that allows you to build robots and no one gives a shit, and they have a garage.
Oh yeah, they have a garage.
What?
I also love how you don't need any qualifications to get hired there.
Yeah, he sort of did straight up walk in and get a job.
I like how our 2 main supporting characters are C-3PO doing his best Akiba Red cosplay and Garrick's Wormuloid's homeless cousin.
Who got fired from Space Patrol Delta and came back here.
Let's talk about the brothers.
Can I also just say his music career would have been over?
Oh, yeah.
Why does he need a secret identity? Why does he need like a double life?
Why is he a country singer of all things?
Because
no country singer looks
your
like
achy
that.
breaky heart just wouldn't understand.
No, because they needed a goddamn reason for the costume.
You'll never touch me!
Also, once again, back to the being a pussy. You're gonna make this guy a country singer cowboy with that outfit, and you still change the burger morpher. Either go big or go home.
To be fair, they changed all the morphers.
And I don't agree with that.
They also gave him that stupid mid-between suit. The all-black one.
Oh, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The cockpit suits are back in the business.
The whole brother storyline was stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid.
To be fair,
like
most of the
everything else
show.
on the show.
But, wow.
Again, your brother disappears for this long. There needs to be some sort of psychological damage going on.
There was no
here.
substance to any plot line.
Nobody cared. Nobody cares.
Garbage. And then, let's talk about the guy who makes the Go-Go 5 dad look like father of the fucking year. The dad.
The dad.
Who's in what, 3 episodes, I think?
Who disappears, and then he shows up, and then it's like, yay, Dad's back. And
Bye!
And then Garrick's Wormuloid becomes a Red Ranger, and then they beat the bad guy, and then they're sitting around a campfire, and then he stands up and goes, I have to go, my planet needs me. And then he just leaves.
I hate pretty much everything about this show, but the supporting characters are some of the worst. Victor and Monty are actual trash. The dad is god-awful. Redbot shouldn't exist. Stop doing characters like this.
Not every Power Ranger needs an alpha.
No, they really don't.
Not every Power Ranger needs Bulk and Skull.
They really don't.
Especially when they're this incompetent.
No, see, I don't call them Bulk and Skull because that's insulting to Bulk and Skull. Bulk and Skull had a fucking arc. It took a few seasons, but they had a fucking arc.
They got there in the end.
They got there in the end. And honestly, I didn't hate seeing Bulk in Samurai. It was nice.
Betty and her brother and Beast Morphers are actually weirdly good because it's like...
They're not assholes. They're just...
Well, no, but it's just like they're
dumb.
actively trying to do good things. And when they mess up, they take ownership.
Also,
it's our fault.
Can I also say...
Our bad.
These 2 character archetypes would never be in the same room with each other with the show they've presented to us.
Oh yeah, because it's the 1950s in this world where you have the big jock in his Letterman jacket, like, oh yeah,
and the squirmy little nerd in his sweater.
You got Norman there with his glasses, his square glasses, like, oh, I'll carry your books for you. I'm sorry, let me do your homework for you, sir.
No, I do admit I liked the theory that Linkara gave in his retirement.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
where it's like,
about.
this is all a private school, and the only reason like the jock is there is because his family bought him into it. He's not actually smart. Like
watching the show, you could easily assume that
no
he
shit.
isn't smart because he's an idiot.
Also, does no one have a mother in this show?
No.
The Blue Ranger's dad shows up and
Pink's mom.
Oh right, but like I'll rephrase. Does no one have both parents?
No.
Oh no, one
Disney
or
rules.
both are dead.
Disney rules. One has to be either dead or abandoned them.
It's just so bad. This show
society has progressed to the point where we have hoverboards and asexual reproduction.
I remember when they first showed that this is the show that they were doing, and it was like, there's no way the show can be good considering the Sentai that it's based on.
I wouldn't say that.
Turns out
look
they were right.
Look at RPM.
You can.
We're talking about in this case.
No, we could. I'm pretty sure we could have made a good Power Rangers from Ninninger.
Yeah, it's called Do Tokucast instead.
Anyway, I still think we could have made a good Power Rangers from Ninninger. If we can make a good Power Rangers from fucking Go Onger, anything's possible. But with the hands that the show was in, it was screwed from the start.
And
now it's in Hasbro, and Hasbro's trying.
Yeah, they're trying because Beast Wars has been, like I said, has been a fun watch. I enjoy all the characters. Yeah, Ravi was not the best at the very beginning, but he has gotten better. Steel is still the best thing the show has going for it, though. He's great. 10 out of 10.
Losing my voice. Oh, what time is it?
12:13.
Okay. Thank you.
I hate this. This show is a waste of time. Space, energy, and my life.
Don't watch it.
Don't.
Oh, I still hate this show. Don't watch it. But if I had to choose between rewatching Megaforce or Super Megaforce and watching this, I think I'd watch this.
I'd choose Gun.
Well,
I just watched something else.
This goes back to the argument I had before of I'd rather watch something I hate and hate it again, like
Ninja for me,
like Ninja Steel, than watch something that left no impression on me whatsoever.
Yeah,
and I was just bored.
Where it's just like it blank slates your mind.
That is what Megaforce and Super Megaforce was to me. It's just so dull, so boring, not trying. That's why I still think it's the worst show. Because I'm giving them credit for trying things that sucked. Oh my god, they sucked!
Like using the generals from Tokucast and Frankensteining a face on it.
Yeah.
But they are trying something.
Because the game show aspect
I'd rather a bad story than no story.
Yeah. The game show aspect was interesting. I feel like if they would have leaned into that more, it would have been a lot more fun to watch.
I think the guy in the fucking hat and cane should have been the main villain.
Well, yeah, but we'll see what they do if they ever decide to adapt Tokucast. They won't because it has an Orange Ranger in it.
Yeah.
You know that's illegal.
That's illegal in Power Rangers.
I'd rather watch something good because life is too short to be unhappy.
It's true.
That's true. No, I was saying in a hypothetical situation where those are my only two options.
Yeah. Anyway, do we have anything else to add?
Don't watch this.
Now, in comparison, all we've done is rant about the Power Rangers.
Because this is not an in comparison. This is a public execution.
Do you think Ninninger was better or worse than Power Rangers Ninja Steel Marcus?
So the next one that we'll be when that ends up actually ending later on this year, we'll be doing Go Busters versus Beast Wars finally. Mm-hmm. It'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
There are good things.
It's an actual comparison.
Yeah, unlike this, which is...
Who cares?
Really? God. What a waste.
Also, can we talk about the fact that they put slavery in the Power Rangers?
And just straight up didn't talk about it.
Nope.
Because it was glossed over very quickly at the beginning.
And then it ended in Battleizer.
God, it's such trash. This show just doesn't... No.
We had human trafficking, slavery, mind control, kidnapping.
All wrapped up in a warm pile of garbage.
It's so cozy.
So toasty.
Oh, and whitewashing.
Oh, yeah, sure. Alright, next time, yeah, it's good. It's going to be a while before this show is coming back. Solely because the fact that Beast Morphers isn't over yet. But I am looking forward to when we actually get to that. It'll be a much better one because there will be things to talk about and there probably won't be as much anger.
Probably.
Maybe.
It depends on how it ends.
Yeah.
Bye!
Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to join us in all the things.